Tips with Mr. K.
Hi, everybody. So this week, you guys are responsible for creating 5 bins or parts, containers that are going to be used to house different elements on your desk organizer. Your 6th part will be your base. So in this video, I just want to show you a couple tools that you can use that might help you in making your bins or your containers. And then I just want to talk a little bit about the base, what that should look like, and your setup going into next week. So I just started with a basic shape, kind of an extruded rectangle, what would be a bin of some kind. And your dimensions are going to be important for this, so you want to make sure, maybe on a separate sheet of paper somewhere, that you have all of your dimensions pre-drawn out so you know how big each part is going to be. So this tool here is going to be called the shell tool. And the shell tool, if you haven't used it before, some of you might know it, but if you don't, basically it's designed to hollow out a section. Rather than us creating a shape on the top and extrude cutting it down, right, and removing material this way, we can actually create a shell. And what that does is it'll create a hollowed out section that's uniform all the way around whatever shape I'm making. So I'm going to select shell, and it says faces to remove, and that's just highlighting the face that you want. So I could make it on the front if I wanted to hold papers or objects or post-its going this way. But I'm going to do it on the top just because I think it's a little bit easier to visualize what I'm going to try to make here. So I'm just going to make like a bin, a normal size bin. And as soon as I click that face, you'll notice that the whole thing just kind of cuts out. And if you look at the shell thickness, this 0.1 inches is how thick it is from edge to edge. Right? And I can change that size, and I can make it relatively small. Right? If I hit enter, you notice, right, how small it gets. And obviously I can change it, right, and make that bigger to suit however you want your item to look. So I'm just going to, for the purposes of this, I think I'm going to leave it at 0.1. Yeah, let's leave it at 0.1. I'm going to hit enter. And the other thing I want to show you guys, and we've used this tool before, but in using the fillet tool. Right? And the fillet tool is going to help us round our edges. And the reason we're doing this is because if you're actually going to make a desk organizer, they typically don't have straight edges and corners. It's not aesthetically pleasing. When you move the bins around or you're trying to hold the bins, that's perceived as kind of rough or harsh. So we kind of want to smooth our corners and make it a little bit more user-friendly, if you will. So I'm going to click on fillet, and because I know I made this piece 0.1, I definitely want to make my fillet smaller than that. So I'm going to actually make my radius 0.05, and when I click on the edge, right, it kind of gives me a preview of what the thing is going to look like. And because I'm going to end up doing both sides now that I'm looking at this, I'm actually going to make it a little bit smaller. And I'm going to go half this size. So I'm going to go 0.025. And great. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to select every edge going around the outside of the box, even the bottom. I don't have to do the bottom. I'm choosing to. You can do whatever you want with your box. And I am even going to do the inside edges here as well. And you can even do the bottoms. You can make the whole thing filleted if you would like. And I'm going to click OK. And you notice it kind of gives it a rounded effect. Again, it's a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. It's a little less rough. And just like last time, right, I'm going to right click and I can edit the appearance. And I can change this to whatever color I would like, whatever's going to go with your theme. Most things are black. I might not make this black. Maybe I'll make it purple. It's kind of a cool purple. And you can see that, it would suffice as my bin. And you can use this in a lot of different ways. The other thing I want to show you and talk a little bit about is the base. So once you guys make all of your bins, remember each bin or part of your organizer, they don't all have to be bins. They might be something different. So keep that in mind as well. But for the base, they all have to fit on the base or connect to the base somehow. So I'm going to show you guys more of the assembly part next week, but since I already have the parts drawn up, let me show you what my base is going to end up looking like. And I'll kind of give you the preview for what this is going to end up being. So this is my base, and remember we talked about it having a 3/4 inch thickness at the bottom, so that's this piece down here. But you can see I've drawn sections where each bin is going to go. This is a circular bin, and even I kind of curved my corners here. It gives it kind of an aesthetic look, makes it kind of cool. And I also have, because I had done this for a previous assignment for another class at one point, I had made mine a handle so it was actually carryable. So for those of you guys that are moving from place to place or workstation to workstation in your house, you might want to think about this as well. So this is a handle to carry everything, but everything else would rest on this section. So the one thing you want to make sure of in going forward with this is that I would need to make sure that all my bins are going to fit into these sections. It also would be a good idea if you have some kind of raised marker or corner edge, something that the part can actually fit into. So if you notice here, I have the little edges that kind of will help bump it and keep that bin in there. That way when I go to do the assembly, I have a place to kind of lock it in. But that's really all it for this week. I'm keeping it relatively short. So again, for this week, you guys are creating 5 parts, 5 bins of various sizes and shapes, depending on your drawings. And your 6th part is going to be the base, which can, look something like this, where you have a handle on it. Maybe it has wheels, or it has a tray component or a lock component. I don't know, whatever you guys are doing. Maybe it clips to your desk in some capacity. But whatever that base is going to look like, right, that's kind of what we're going to go with. And then next week, I'm going to show you guys how to put everything together. Okay, if you have questions, as always, you can email either Miss Blandford or myself. Hope you guys are doing well and have fun this week. Good luck.